Yeah, we are now live streaming to YouTube.
Okay.
So please let know when I have to start.
Pardon?
When I have to start, just let know, please.
Yeah, we have 1 minute, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me formally start the lecture. It's my pleasure to welcome today's speaker, Dr. Rashmi Kathuria, for the session. Rashmi is supervisory head, a postgraduate mathematics teacher of mathematics, in charge of math lab at Hansraj Model School, Delhi. I think I didn't pronounce the full name of the school. It's Kulachi Hansraj Model School, Delhi. So
Yes.
I stand corrected. I had known Rashmi for the last how many years? I don't know, since 2004, 5 onwards. She is a very enthusiastic, passionate teacher. Her forte is embedding an element of innovation and creativity to education. And in her last 25 to 30 years of her career, instead of following the standard textbook approach, she has developed a blended approach for teaching and learning, including elements of creativity, communication, collaboration, global awareness, entrepreneurship, life skills, and so on into mathematics. Our efforts have been recognized by two presidential awards. National Best C Teacher Award for 2007, which was given by our late Dr. Abdul Kalam, and then National ICT Award for Teachers in 2010, awarded by MHRD, and that was handed over to her by Dr. Pranab Mukherjee. She is among the top 50 finalists for Top Global Prize 2016 by Werke Foundation, and she is a certified Google teacher and innovator. And she is winner of Pearson Teaching Excellence in Mathematics Award 2015. I think there are more to come slowly over the years. And she has been associated with various government organizations like CBSE, NCRT, DAB, CAE, SCRT Delhi, CIET, DESM, and they're all government education departments and Central Board for Secondary Education. She has her own website. I'm sharing the link in the chat box. And she also has her own YouTube channel. The link for that also I will share in my in the chat box so that you can have a look at that. So with that short introduction, let me welcome Rashmi and request her to start our talk, Creative Teaching Learning of Mathematics. Rashmi, please.
Thank you so much, sir. And I really appreciate because it's because of you long ago that we entered into the journey of creativity and innovation, because I still remember the room in which you used to share interesting things which not only just ignited the mind of the teacher, but has taken that reflection into many, many classrooms. So I'm fortunate that I'm connected with Inder Kumar Rana sir, who has always appreciated and inspired teachers and empowered them with lots and lots of tools and techniques which can be taken in the classroom. My dear friends, those who are attending this math clinic of 28th August 2021, which is having the title Creative Teaching Learning of Mathematics, welcome to this session. And today we will be having a lot of enjoyment and excitement through the element of creativity in teaching and learning. So first of all, as a teacher, we need to do a little bit of self-reflection. So let us do self-reflection on two questions, which I ask every day to myself as a teacher. Are we learning something new as a teacher in the class? Number two, are my students communicating with me? Do they ask questions to me? So these are the questions for self-reflection consciously on everyday basis we ask ourselves. Now, the first question is quite relevant because we all were not at all prepared to teach during the pandemic time purely in an online environment. So, do we think that learning something new is worth? So, we need to ask what we should learn and why we should learn, and finally, how we should learn. So, these are some self-reflection questions as a teacher. My dear friends, key learning for today's Math Clinic session will be focused on three aspects. Number one, power of teaching creatively. You know that creativity is an integral part of teaching learning, and there is no dearth of tools and techniques which can be used by a teacher in a classroom for creating joyful and enjoyable learning environments. So second aspect would be joyful ways of visualizing mathematics. Because in my past 25 years, I've experienced that every classroom is unique. And in every classroom, a teacher needs to devise new way to reach to all types of learners. And the third thing, which is very important, and this is as per New Education Policy 2020 also, that we have to engage the children in a self-learning mode using diverse tools. So in this session, we will be exploring some of the three aspects. It's my personal belief that if a teacher enjoys teaching and learning with the students side by side, that teacher evolves with us, with the children. So you see that if you add happiness in a classroom, it is not just only for children. The teacher is also taking advantage, because for that particular classroom, teacher is also a part. So we need to think of ways in which students want to learn. So this is one thing as a tip which I would like to share with all the friends who are attending this session. My dear friends, I feel that we have to look at mathematics in a way, in a classroom, that it should be accessible for all, and not just for those who just love learning mathematics. So there are students who have some fear for learning mathematics, or might be they learn in a different way. So we have to make maths accessible for all the types of learners. And we have to encourage the students to have passion for learning the subject, because every subject has its unique power to understand the challenges of life and overcome it. And we have to prepare our students for all the challenges which, I don't know, we know at right time, or what kinds of challenges might appear after a year or 2 years. So we have to prepare the mindset so that the students can deal with all daily life problems by learning the subject mathematics. And we need to create joyful, independent learning environments, because I personally believe that every child learns differently and every child is unique. So enhancing the knowledge and skills of using variety of tools and techniques in mathematics is very, very important. So here comes a big question. So we have two big words, creativity and innovation. So are these same, or you think these are different? Because everybody has its own perspective. I was just thinking, like, if we give a gift to be wrapped to 5 people and we provide to them with the same material, do you think we will be getting the same gift wrap in the end? Let us think. So here we can better understand meaning of the word creativity. So creativity is personal, meaning you are doing something in your own way. So do we apply creativity in teaching, learning of mathematics. And gradually when we see that there are different types of challenges in a classroom, we try to innovate some new things. So this is a slight difference between creativity and innovation. And why a teacher should be creative? You know that we are there on this planet for a reason, and we have become teachers. So creativity and innovation can lead to giving students insight about life, living a meaningful life, and becoming empathetic and kind global citizens. So now, if you see and try to understand variety of tools and techniques. So today I will be taking few examples, though there are many, but these are some common things which every teacher uses in a class. But if we try to use them in a creative way, it changes the whole dimension of a classroom. Like you must have heard of graph papers. You get a graph paper in the examination also. But there are different types of papers which we can use in a math classroom. Like we have squared papers, isometric papers, we can even use a plain paper, or we can use a circular geoboard sheet, and there are many more. So do we provide such kinds of sheets in the examination? Have you ever thought about it? Okay, we can give these kinds of sheets also and try to see the understanding and application part of using these papers in a math classroom. Now, the first question comes, which is purely observation based. These are two different types of dot papers, which you can see right now. On the left side, it's an isometric dot paper, and on the right side, it's a square dot paper. So we are not going to teach here mathematics, but we are getting an insight about visualizing the beauty hidden in mathematics. So you see here on the plain paper, dots have been placed in different manner. So let the person who is working on these dot papers explore on their own what is the utility of different types of dot papers. Okay, now you can try, because these dot papers are available online also, and I'm happy to share that you can use lots of Chrome extensions. I'll give you a demonstration here. Right now you can see on my Chrome bar, there is this feather-like extension, which is called Take a Screenshot. And with the help of this, we can make any static document an interactive one, right? So let us see what happens if I click on this. If I click on this, see what has happened. It is asking me to select an area. So right now it was a static paper, but if I use that tool, now it has become an interactive one. You see that there is a pencil, there is a line, arrow, and lots of stuff is there. You can explore on your own. And we can see that if we keep drawing some shape on this particular sheet, say for example, I take up creating or drawing a cuboid. See how I can draw a cuboid of given dimension. Let us see if I try to make a cuboid here on this isometric sheet, then how it will look like. And is it different from the cuboid which we see normally? Like you can think of a matchbox, or you can think of a geometry box, or you can think of any object which looks like a cuboid which is there in front of you. What is so special about this kind of a sketch? What is the name of this sketch? And what faces, if you see in a cuboid, there are 6 faces. So in this kind of a sketch, what kinds of faces are visible to you? They are prominent to you. And if we wish to draw the same on a squared paper, what difference it will make? And is it possible that we will be able to draw a cuboid of exact dimension on a squared papers? So this is a thinking question. You don't have to tell the answer. Rather, the children can try on their own. Now you see that I have drawn here a cuboid, and how I can utilize this. At present, you can see that in this tool, if you look at the bottom, there is an option called copy. When you teach in an online environment, this tool is quite useful because you can make your graph paper interactive. You can make any kind of paper sheet interactive using this particular tool. And whatever work you have done on this, it can be saved as an image. You see there is a save option, or you can post this even on the working slide which you are using in your classroom. Because I've seen many of the teachers, they are using presentations in the classroom, and whatever discussions they do, like if I make a thinking question here, then you can save this. You see there, here is an option called copy. You copy this and see what happens. You can come back to your presentation, and then you can here click on escape and come back to this slide, and then Control V, and you will see that the image, the work which you have done over there will appear here. So this is how, in quick way, whatever work you have done in a classroom can be preserved for students. Why? Because at the time of revision or at the time of recapitulation, you can use these discussions as a revision tool. So I'm again coming back to the presentation, and here you can see that right now we are discussing about the variety of papers which can be used in an interactive way in a math classroom. So this is how we did this. Then what we can do is we can ask about looking at this and talking about various perspectives of the given shape. Like you see that the child can see if this layout, you can see it's in green here, this layout, if we have to draw on the isometric paper, how it will look like, and what will be its front view, and what will be its side view, or what will be its top view. Again, my dear friends, this is the static way. What we need to do is we can add an element of interactivity in our math classroom. So here I am taking you to a website, which is one of my favorites, where we are provided with lots and lots of tried and tested standardized tools for using in a math classroom. So this is nctm.org. So here you see that we have an interactive isometric sheet. And on the left side, you will see that you have a cube and various faces of different orientations. They are available. And then you have creating a line, and lots of stuff is available. So now you see, if I click on this create cube, happily you can ask a child, take the name of the child and ask, okay, tell me today I'm going to use the cubes, and what is your favorite color? Okay, the child said, okay, I like orange. So you can take the color and create different shapes on this. Now, as in when you keep adding the unit cubes, you will say that shape is changing. Now, what kinds of different questions we can make by just observing this particular shape? It depends on like of what level question you are asking. Say, for example, I have to test the knowledge of a child on whether the child has ability to recognize a shape. So we can ask, if I have to complete a cuboid of dimension 2 by 3 by 3. So what do you think, how many unit cubes I would be requiring for completing this? So again, you have provided only a portion of that shape. The child has to think. So there will be some students who would be able to answer the question directly. Then the next question can be, how have you reached to your answer? So some of the children, they use counting the unit cubes method. And some of the children, they imagine the complete shape in their mind and then see how many unit cubes will be there by applying the formula for the volume, and then subtract like how many are given in this shape, and they reach to the answer. So all answers are correct. The process of finding the answer can be different. And this is a beautiful opportunity which a teacher can utilize in the classroom and create engaging classrooms where the discussions are happening. So this is one level. Now the second thing is, you don't have to pay anything for using this tool. In a simple way, the link of the tool can be provided to the children and tell them, now you create something of your own, and at the same time must create a new question. So when the children reach to the level of creating their own question, that is the stage where after that they can apply that particular knowledge in a math classroom, isn't it? So now you see the journey is not over. So this particular tool has a very, very powerful insight here. You see that here it's another option which is given is inspect. When you go there, it adds another element into the case of visualization. You see here, 3D aspect is there. You can use this x-axis, rotate it, and then the children can get a different insight. Similarly, if you use y-axis rotation, you see what is happening. Ask questions to different children and they will come up with unique answers. No answer is wrong because as per their knowledge and understanding, they are responding. But as a teacher, if you know that this should be the learning outcome, so the teacher should have a quality of asking a better question. So now you see when I go to 2D aspect of that particular shape, which we have drawn, here you are getting the front view, right view, and the top view, isn't it? Now, here in this tool, the power is you have beautiful colors available over here. What we can do is, because it's not necessary that whatever you are teaching is understood by all the learners. So here the colors play a beautiful role in making them insight about whatever we are speaking in a math classroom, because every child has a different ability set. So I can change the color here, and you see paint is given. So you can paint the faces. See how easy it is to work on it. So you get here one side, you will see that I have colored it with a pink color. I am choosing another color now and see what I have done. Now, if you are a maths teacher or a mathematics enthusiast, you will understand why I have done this. Well, what is the reason behind this? When I go to now inspect and see the front, right, and the top view, the colors will be visible. Isn't it interesting? And this is a simple shape which was given to the children to get the insight about using the tool. But when the children, they create their shapes, sometimes they create a robot or they create a car or anything, you know, and then they get a different insight. And once they create questions along with that, then you will be amazed to see the hidden talent of each and every child, right? So this is something which I wanted to share with you in this session, that a simple thing which started with a static paper, converting that to a dynamic one, and then giving in the hands of the children in the form of a tool to create something of their own. And that ownership and happiness will bring interest in the children, and they would come to your classroom and would ask for more such things, and they will wait for your class. Now coming to the next aspect. Yes, this one is Geogebra. I know many of you are now using this Geogebra in classroom. Now Geogebra has evolved in the past so many years. I have seen the journey of its development when it was first launched, and now whatever you see, it has a huge online community, and there are lots and lots of resources which are available online which can be used in a math classroom. If I go to this Geogebra, this is online Geogebra. You can download this also by going to the website geogebra.org. If you wish to create an applet in an offline mode also, that is possible. And here, whatever I am now presenting is the online version of Geogebra. Now you see that by default, you see a grid and axis here. And when you right click, you get an option here that you just click on this. You get an option here, isometric. We are beginning with isometric from one end and reaching to this here. You can remove the axis from here and see the grid. This isometric sheet is ready to you with you, and you can explore drawing shapes and doing lots and lots of experiments on this simple sheet, right? So these are the variety of simple possibilities which a teacher can use in a math classroom in terms of adding an element of interactivity, creativity, and dynamism in a math paper. Now, coming to other types of papers which you can see, I hope you must have used these kinds of decimal square papers in primary classes. And then you must have used this circular geoboard paper in your math classrooms for teaching variety of concepts and for integration of art in mathematics. These papers are quite handy when we have to look into the visual art forms. There are many other art integration forms also. Similarly here, the grid paper, which is used by many of the teachers. Now I am focusing on some different kinds of papers. You see, this is one paper which I found long ago. And then I thought, okay, let me give this to the students with one insight. Okay, now you can observe that here, this was the task which was given to them. I drew a triangle which was equilateral, and then you see how the other triangle which was drawn inside the bigger triangle, and vertices of the second triangle, they lie on the boundary of the first triangle. Now, if you notice here, only this insight was given to the children, and every child was given equal amount of time and was given the knowledge and understanding of how we can create different stuff and how we can think like what is happening in this particular situation when we do this, and by what angle a particular object which we have drawn is getting rotated. Now you see, this is the outcome. See the happy faces, and all the children's, they made their own designs, and they explained also like what strategy they have used, and they got the insight themselves that using the line segments in a particular fashion, we can generate curves also. So this small experiment which was done in a classroom brought a lot of mathematics in the class. Now, if you see, I shared with you how to add interactivity in a math classroom. I am taking you to this beautiful tool, which is online geoboard. And this is again a tool which is by the Math Learning Center. And this is a standardized tool. And my dear friends, on this Math Learning Center, you will find amazing tools which you can use in primary level, grade 6 to 8, 9, 10. It's need-based actually, where what kind of an element you want to take, teacher can decide. Okay, now in this tool, if you see on the bottom here, there are various types of boards which are available to you, right? So this is a rectangular geoboard, and this is a circular geoboard. And if you go into rectangular geoboard and just see, there is a grid option which is available, and you can think of how effectively and creatively you can use this handy tool in a classroom. And then you can have numbers on the grid, and after that there are coloring options, filling the bands. Say for example, I take this piece of band and place it like this. I can stretch it and make a quadrilateral. Say for example, I've created this quadrilateral. Okay, and with the other band, I am going to make another type of quadrilateral. Okay, so first thing is, again, an element of visualization is coming. So what is the similarity and what is the dissimilarity between the two shapes which we have drawn? And if we name them as, you know that these are quadrilaterals, and quadrilateral is a polygon in which we have 4 sides. So if we don't want to define it in terms of polygon, we say that it's a closed shape which is having 4 sides. So here, if you notice that if I ask which is concave polygon and which is convex polygon, and what is the reason behind this, and how do you get to know that which is the concave polygon and which is the convex polygon? So if we give this kind of basic layout to the children, then they work on their own. And using these interactive tools, an element of creativity is added. See how we do this. I'll just demonstrate here. If you go at the bottom, then there is an option called share. Okay, so when I click on share, then here you will be getting a link of teacher's board. So this is the link. So you can copy this link, and once this link is copied, wherever you are teaching, you can share that link with children in the chat box. And say, for example, I give it to you, and you can very well click on this link and see, you are able to see whatever I have drawn. And you can frame a question on it, and children can do their work and copy the link again and submit that work in the Google Classroom. Basically, you can assign this link in the Google Classroom as well, because I think many of the schools these days have set their learning management system. So it can be Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom, any platform. So you can have these kinds of activities assigned in the particular area, and students can submit their work, and you can check that work when they share the link. So there are variety of ways of sharing the work. You can see that when you click on share your work, here you get a code also. So you can share the code of the geoboard work which you have done. And then if somebody has to open that work, once visiting this particular link, they have to just click on this key icon at the bottom, put the key here, and you can see the work. So this is basically why I'm sharing this with you, is because as a teacher, if we have to teach in an online environment, we must acquire the skill of working in an online environment, and we should be quite familiar with the easy techniques. So this is how, if we have to use this particular tool in a classroom, so these are the quite some nitty-gritties of using this. So here I'm going to share with you some examples done by the children. So you see a child has made this, and because the task is you have to make a new question. So in this was done by a grade 8 child. So you see that the child has created this design, and he has asked what will be the length of AB. And in his answer, he tried making a right triangle, and then he used the Pythagoras theorem and found the length of the AB. So once this question was shared with other children, they shared different ways of getting the answer, and they created different designs in which some other kinds of questions were asked. So the idea is that when you give one work to one child, normally what happens in a class, the child is doing the task in his or her notebook. Others are not able to see. But the advantage of working in an online environment is everybody can see what others have done, and they can get beauty and insight about how others are thinking. And then they get that kind of reflection in their mind, and they try to create something which is of higher order thinking skills. Now you see here, children in grade 8, they learn about plotting of points in the rectangular coordinate system, and in grade 8 they learn only about the first quadrant. So a child created this line design, and simply he marked 2 points, Z and P, and he asked what are the coordinates of these points. And then he asked what is the perpendicular distance of the points, given points, from the x-axis and from the y-axis. Similarly, different children, they ask different questions on the basis of what designs they created in a math classroom. And these all are not given in the textbooks. So they think beyond textbooks on the basis of knowledge and understanding which they gain after studying a particular topic in the class. I hope now you can recall this. So this was a diagram which was created on that isometric drawing tool. And you can see that these are the questions which are created by the students now. I asked only one question, but they created different questions. Now I'm going to share with you something very interesting. I hope you have explored this beautiful application by Geogebra, which is Geogebra 3D calculator. I'm not turning on the voice of this video. This video is available on the YouTube channel. Quickly, I will take you to the tool and you can get insight about the interactive feature of using this Geogebra 3D calculator in a math classroom. So you can see that in this tool, you have pyramid, cube, sphere, planes, and then you can have nets of the different solids and they can be rotated and shown. You see the beauty of this, and it helps in creating imagination in the children, and they will not cram. Definitely, they will not just remember that how many vertices, faces, and edges a particular solid has, and they will just simply create one image in their mind, and then they will be able to answer which of the questions which are based on these particular geometrical 3D shapes. I recommend using this particular tool in a math classroom. You can use even your mobile and download this application, because the GeoGebra can be downloaded in the mobile also. And there are a variety of applications which you can use in the online classroom. Okay, now I am coming to an interesting thing. This particular tool, which is called a word wall, is being used by many teachers, especially in a math classroom. And this is why, because you know that children, they love to play. Okay, if you play a Kahoot for say 10 minutes, so in 10 minutes, you can ask 20 questions, because you have the facility of setting time of a particular question. And it helps in increasing the power of solving a question in mind and coming to the right answer. And there are so many, features in that particular tool, and teacher can get the insight about how all the children in the classroom, they are working, right? So if I come to this word wall, just observe it, how it is working. It's a simple to make tool, and with your email ID, you can create 5 such activities in free version. But I would recommend that you collaborate with your friends, and in a school you can create, if you are 5 friends, you can have 25 activities, and on sharing basis you can use them and see the peppy music and how a teacher can use it live in a math classroom. So it says this is a drag wheel to spin, and this is a tool which is created in a class for grade 10. So I said spin it. So you can put any information over here and then ask the question, right? You can set your way, like who will be answering. It can be roll number wise, alphabetical names, or random names, or whatever. So it's between teachers and students to see how you're going to play. Like in my class, if I want to do this, I give charge to the students. So students, group number 1 will be doing one activity on this particular software, this tool, and they make on their own, and they make everybody play and enjoy, and we learn together, right? So here you see that you get a question now. You can eliminate this, and next time you will not get this question. Spin the wheel again and you get the question. Next question is ready. So I think lots and lots of ideas might be come into your mind as per the standard in which you are teaching. Never think that you cannot use even in senior grades. The senior grade students also need stress busters. So it is the responsibility of a teacher to create something meaningful so that it does not waste time of the students and children. They learn something new in a math classroom. I hope you got the idea how to make use of this. And the beauty of this tool is, like, once I have created something, I can get the same information in different formats. Now you see here, this is a card game now. I have just clicked on random this, and then you get one card. Okay, you can shuffle the cards. See how realistic it is appearing? And then you can get another card. Isn't it interesting? So basically, as a teacher, if we enjoy doing some certain activities in the classroom, then obviously students, they take interest and they can reach to different level. Now see, this is another format. You can just click on this and you get one card ready. This is another one. This is an anagram kind of a thing. Okay, so coming back to this, I just wanted to share an idea, and this is one example, dear friends, which I have taken. And there are lots and lots of tools which are available. Mentimeter is there, then Kahoot is there, Quizzes is there, Word Wall is there, Flipgrid is there. Lots and lots of tools are there which can be used in a classroom. Now coming to the last aspect, that is engaging children. So basically what we have to do is we have to prepare our students in the class a step towards self-learning. It's not that we have to do spoon feeding. Okay, so we have to prepare them so that they take ownership of their working and they take responsibility of their learning, do self-reflection. So like I am happy to share with you that in our school we have developed a complete book on self-reflection checklists, right? Because it's a school thing, I'm not able to show it over here. Never mind, but I am sharing with you the idea. So in the self-reflection checklist, what we have done is we have divided the entire math lesson into 3 strands. First one is vocabulary. Second is concepts and processes. And the third one is application part, that is problem solving. So we make one student reflection checklist, and after the chapter is over, we give that checklist to the children so that they can sit and see whether they have understood a particular set of vocabulary, they have understood the processes which are learned in a particular chapter, and then apply that knowledge for solving certain questions. And the last aspect which I want to share with you is we need to prepare children to create. In my previous slides, I've shared with you some examples of students' work, but here I am going to share with you some more stuff. So this is the time when we were working in the classrooms. A very interesting activity in our class. We have to write questions on the sheet, and step by step we have to cut the strips, and we have to exchange it with our partners and arrange it in the order. I am giving my strips to Shubhi, and I am giving them. Let us see who will do the first ordering. This is a question. What will be the first step? What will be the second step? We are trying to arrange. So see, this is one idea, simple idea. Every child has written one word problem. Children, they fear for solving a word problem. So they write down the word problem and they write down the solution and they cut the strips and then they make their own like you can see that these girls are working, and then they exchange with the partner. So once they do that, and you see the excitement and energy in the classroom, we are not stopping anyone. It's not that children cannot make noise. It's a healthy noise. And here you will be surprised to see these boys. They are not in a habit of cutting and pasting, so they are taking a lot of time. But never mind, they will be completing the work and doing the work. This group has done. So what they will do now is they will go to some other partner and then do the needful. So I am really missing this classroom. I hope schools get reopened and we can see our children and see how we can engage the children. Like here, you can see one example. The children have written their name using segments, and then they have calculated number of different types of angles. I am happy to share with you one interesting activity which we did. I distributed e-chocolates. Okay, this is a chocolate bar which each child got one chocolate bar, and we studied the chapter parallel lines and transversal, and they were asked to make one questions by using any image editing tool, and they were to explain it also and record a video also of the same, like what strategy they are going to use it, because in these kinds of questions there are different ways of solving the question. So this is one example on my chocolate question. Then here, okay, this one is you know that if you take any polygon and we have one line segment to draw by joining points which are taken on the boundary of the polygon. So how many parts will be done? Okay, if I have to divide, if we are given two line segments, then how many minimum and maximum parts can be made of that particular shape which we have drawn? So this kind of some discussion was happening in the class. So for that, rather than teaching in a standard way, okay, by just drawing the figure and drawing the line segments, we thought of making puzzles for the children. Just get this idea.
This puzzle is quite an interesting one. What do you see on the screen? Yes, there is a rectangular boundary, and in this boundary, 7 small pieces of woods have been placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, what is the challenge? Challenge is, with the help of 3 wooden sticks, we have to segregate each of the block in.
So you see, when we are teaching in a math classroom and we are using some videos, then by just muting that video, the interaction happens in the classroom. So you see here, the mathematical aspect is translated into some activity. So here you will find that at present 3 lines, you can imagine this like it like that, and it is divided now into 6 parts. So but the challenge was to segregate each of the wooden block. So see how we can place the sticks so that each one of the wooden block gets separated. So we know that when we are given 3 line segments, then how many minimum number of parts can be made of a shape, and then how many maximum are possible. So here you see that 7 is the maximum number which is possible. So children, when they do such kinds of things in their math classroom, they enjoy and they take ownership for their learning. Now, this is another example which I really wish to share with all of you, and you will be amazed to see the hidden potential and creativity of the children. Because normally we think that we have to solve the questions which are given in the textbooks. Why children cannot create questions by, imagining the real life situations. So here another activity was given to them, that you observe around yourself and try to create a question which is based on parallel lines and transversal, and then make videos also. You will be amazed to see the interesting situations which the children have taken. I'm just sharing with you quickly the work done by the children. A rainbow and the rays, diamond, then design on the notebook cover, then designs in the furniture, some layout in the playground, some layout in the park. So these are the beautiful examples which children imagined, and then they create all of them. All of these are videos, and if you listen to each and every aspect which the child is speaking at the age of 11, 12 or 13 is amazing. So you have to have that research bent of mind and see, you will get an insight about how children learn. So basically, I personally feel that we need to teach the way the students want to learn, rather than force them to study and do the questions which are given in the book. They will be able to solve each and every question once they reach to this level that they are creating their own questions. Last part which I want to cover up is add the element of recreation in a math classroom. That adds beauty to it, because there are lots and lots of these logical puzzles, number puzzles, matchsticks puzzles, dot puzzles, shapes puzzles, which can be taken up for 1 minute or 2 minutes, maybe alternate days, or once in a week, you can fix up a day for recreation. And you will see that you will get a positive energy in your classroom, because children will be waiting for your class. So these are some good examples which have been taken. And my dear friends, so to end up my talk, I say that a teacher is a learner, and every joyful learning environment, it consists of learners only. So here nobody is a teacher, because many a times we learn from students. I was thinking one day, like how a teacher evolves. A teacher evolves gradually. How a teacher evolves? By interacting with students, first of all. Because I asked one question in the beginning, why we should learn? Because children are asking questions. It's not necessary that you know answer of every question. So we need to find the answer together. Second thing is, a teacher who is a learner creates joyful learning environment. And we need to appreciate each and every child, whether the child is at level 1, 2, 3, getting good marks or not. That should not be the criteria. Rather, we have to see how the child is also evolving from one level to the other level. I hope whatever I have shared with you today will bring some insight about adding an element of creativity in a mathematics classroom. So mathematics is a beautiful subject. It is full of incredible creativity. There is no end to it. So we have to just see how we can reach to all types of learners. And personally, I believe that teacher preparedness and positive mindset can give rise to these kinds of environments. Thank you so much, sir, for giving the opportunity. And thank you to each one of you who has joined the session and are watching it live on YouTube on the Math Clinic channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi. It brought back many memories, as well as I will talk about this a bit later. First, I think let us ask audience if they have any questions to ask or comments, clarifications. You can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please say your name first and
Yes, sir.
then ask.
Good evening, sir. This is Seema Adiga from Karnataka.
Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. Today's session is really excellent. So usually math is a subject where students feel bored sometimes. So these are all the activities we can use wonderfully in the class. My question is that word wall, what ma'am has shared, if we share the link with the students, so they get a chance to spin, or how do they come to know the answers? I just quickly tried that on my laptop.
Answers are not given, ma'am. Answers are not given. So these are the questions which are given. But if you explore word wall, ma'am, you will find there match the following things where the answers are also provided. Drag and drop options are also there. I must say that you try that, you will love it.
Yeah, I prepared one multiplication task, ma'am.
Amazing, amazing.
There is an option that you share with the students. Like if I share with the students, as you told in the class, it is very simple to do. Like I spin, they will, in turns, they will tell the answers. But if I share with the students, how do they participate? I mean, that is the question. That's it.
I shared with you that we give the charge to the students. Like you play the game, we will be answering it.
Okay.
They become
okay,
the leaders of the class.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. So it is like what we say what we say, ma'am, an extra bite. Like you have worked so well, so I'm giving you the leadership today. You are spinning the wheel. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Seema. Anybody else has a question or clarification?
Good evening, Rana sir. Bindu Pramod here from Gurgaon. So my question is that Google extension ma'am has just explained with that isometric sheet and the way we can make it working, the sheets. Ma'am, the first extension you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the light shot screenshot tool. If
light shot?
Yes, light shot screenshot tool. If you visit the YouTube channel, you will find a video also how to make use of that particular tool. Sir will be sharing the link with all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I think this may be also, let me just add, you can look for Chrome extensions.
Yes, sir. I was just searching for the specific name in the extension. I couldn't find it. So
okay. So explore. Okay, fine. Yes. Good, good. You. Okay. Anybody else? Any clarification, suggestion, add-on? I thought there will be a lot of questions are being asked because she has.
Sir, either everything is clear or nothing is clear.
Well, I think
we get the doubts as we explore, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You can, her email you have already noted down, so you can always email her and ask. Or her YouTube channel will have answers to most of the questions anyway.
Yes, sir.
If still something is left, you can always email her and ask some more insights, and you can share and discuss, because it's a discussion and sharing only that helps to enhance learning and teaching on both sides. So we are all teachers trying to learn from each other. Yeah.
Sir, yeah, it's Gomati, sir. I have logged in my son's ID. Sorry for it. It was a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you for it. I have a small doubt, ma'am. But nowadays, when we are preparing quiz, we are mostly going with Google Forms. Is there any other option to make it easy? Any other websites or any other app to make?
Basically, you are creating forms by typing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For typing, I use Equatio. That's again a website. And if you have your school ID, official ID, then you can get that Equatio membership. For teacher educators, it is free.
Okay.
And another quick tip I would like to share, that you can add an image of the question rather than typing.
Yeah.
So you can create a folder in which you have images of the question, and along with the question you do A, B, C, D,
Okay.
and that too having the images.
Yeah, ma'am.
Or you can have only one image in
Okay.
which you have a question along with the choices A, B, C, D. And in the Google form, you will just have to add on the blank choices A, B, C, D, because the written part will be there in the image. That's a quick and handy tip. If you have to create a Google form for 40 questions and you have those, even handwritten questions are there with the choices and images are there, it hardly takes 5 minutes to create that form.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Anybody else has a question to ask?
Ma'am, we can add this extension of Equatio to Chrome also. There's an extension. It will be easy for the typing in the
Yes,
Google
that
form
is
then.
very wonderful.
Yeah, you see, ideas are coming back and being shared. That's nice. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Anybody else would like to? Okay, I think as you explore, you will probably come across some stumbling blocks and some moments of joy which you would like to share. So me as well as Rashmi both are open to interaction with the teachers, students, anybody as far as mathematics is concerned. So please do get back to us. And Rashmi, let me just say that I think every lecture I attend of anybody, there is always some learning point from. So from your thing, the aha moment came to me by this Chrome extension. I never felt the use for it, but now it is a very easy and convenient way of from a static to a dynamic thing. It is just a simple click. That is a wonderful thing. Thanks for sharing that. And I think as you have said, if we try to give ownership to students, then nothing else is required in the world. They will learn, you would have lighted a fire in their heart and they will start burning with questions, curiosity, and there will be interactivity. Everything will follow. I think it is just a matter of giving that spark. And that spark can be in the form of that live screenshot. It can be in the form of Geogebra 2D, 3D, or NCTM org. It could be that word wall. It could be in any form. You don't have to use everything. You can choose what you like, what you are comfortable with, and use it. The main idea is you should enjoy it as a teacher. And once you start enjoying it, I'm sure your students will enjoy what you teach them. That is the key to teaching. I have learned over the years, unless you don't enjoy the story you are telling, the listeners will not enjoy it. So you should first have a story which you yourself enjoy. And then everything else will follow very smoothly, very nicely. Thank you, Rashmi, for bringing the important key aspects of a interactive classroom in this scenario of online teaching. So thank you very much. And we'll rope you in again sometime later, as and when we sort of feel that time has come to do something more. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure.
And please fill up the feedback form that has been shared by Soumya on the chat box. Before you leave, please fill up that form. That feedback always is good to know whether how much you disliked our efforts and how we should improve. Thank you very much. Take care. Be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.